You're not in conference or anything?
No. As it turns out, my 10-year-old's been discharged.
Hi, Tom.
Hello. Your 10-year-old? Was that the Janie you were telling me about?
Mm-hmm. I guess I didn't have to worry after all.
The other night, Faye dreamed about all the patients she left behind, and we ended up wide awake discussing every one of them. Well, I hope the rest of them fared as well as Janie.
Everyone managed very nicely.
Well, look, I gotta get back out on the floor. See ya. Welcome back.
Thank you, Pat. It was a beautiful honeymoon.
Bye, Pat.
Now, you look pale.
I'm all right. He was trying to understand our situation, yours and mine. 2, he was telling me about his. He's getting an annulment. Seems he really is through with Delia.
I hope he doesn't think you'll be affected by that.
He doesn't.
What was it he didn't understand?
That he left for 5 days, and when he left, I was single. It was my wedding day when he got back. That plus Delia. I'm sure Pat's head is spinning. But I told him my marriage is for keeps.
Did you?
In no uncertain terms.
You know, maybe it had to be said. But I wish he'd asked me instead of upsetting you.
Tom, I can cope with Pat, or whatever other feelings might be left between us.
Well, you didn't find it all that easy at the wedding.
That's because I had to tell Delia off. Besides, brides get fluttery. But I'm an old married lady now, and I'm not afraid of anybody. So, tell me, what did you do this morning?
Okay, one more question and we'll discuss me. Did he accept what you told him, or will these inquiries go on every time he finds you in neurology?
I think he got the message.
Well, in that case, I list my morning adventures. None. Stacks of mail, it was a total bore.
I thought you had a meeting with the house board.
I do. Oh, in fact, I better be on my way.
Okay, I'll walk you to the elevator.
Oh, I'll take the stairs. It's great exercise. You know, I'm glad I tracked you down.
Were you looking for me?
Yes.
Why?
Because I wanted to give you this and this. I'll see you later.
All right, bye.
Bye. There are a couple of things I'd like to go over with you.
Sure. Hospital set?
No.
Inch system. I'm pro quarterback David Garrard, and I have Crohn's possibilities. To learn more, go to livingwithcrohnsdisease.com. You too should see all of your possibilities.
Good morning, Al. Are you free?
Yeah, for about 20 minutes. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Look, I'd like to have a brief consultation about Delia Ryan. Have you heard from her?
No. As a matter of fact, I've been trying to get in touch with her. She was supposed to make an appointment after her cruise.
Well, she's back from her cruise. And nobody can find her.
What's going on?
Pat's left her.
How long ago?
A few days.
Well, she must be with her brother.
Look, let me give you the whole story. Delia was lying about her blindness, and Pat found out on the cruise. Now, when they got back to New York City, he found out everything else.
Everything?
A fake miscarriage, fake nervous breakdown, all of her ploys.
Oh, Lord. Who does she have now, besides you?
I'm her friend. You're a psychiatrist. I guess that's about it. I stopped by her apartment. The door was wide open, the lights were on, the radio was blasting. She left her keys and $40 sitting out on the table. Now, I told her brother Bob, and I also told the Ryans, but they didn't see it as anything but another one of her tactics.
Yeah. It's possible she's been admitted somewhere.
No. I called every hospital in the area because I didn't think that Delia would go far from Riverside. None of them have a record of a psychiatric or emergency patient by the name of Delia Ryan or Sheila Brown, which is her favorite pseudonym.
You really are her friend, aren't you?
Well, I guess you know the history there.
Well, I have Delia's version.
I can imagine what she told you. And probably about 80% of it is right. Maybe 90. Look, Al, I know Delia better than the Ryans do, better than Pat does. And believe it or not, she is more honest with me than anyone. Of course, unless she's more honest here in therapy.
No. No, Roger, you were right the first time.
All right. The point that I'm trying to make is that I tend to read Delia right. With this disappearance, I'm inclined to think it's very, very serious.
Have you notified the police?
No, not officially. Of course, her brother knows, and I wanted to talk to Pat before I made that step. But before I talked to him, I wanted to touch bases with you. Now, can you tell me how much trouble she's in? Now that Pat's made the break, I mean, can she become psychotic? A sudden snap, or does she have more reserves than I realize?
I don't know. She's pulled off this pseudo-nervous breakdown, and in spite of your help, she's put herself through a tremendous strain. She's demonstrating fake symptoms, hiding the real ones, turning the hysterics on and off on cue, and then the blindness.
The blindness was genuine in the beginning.
Genuinely psychosomatic. She's had a year of utter desperation. She's trying to cover up the fact that the baby was lost before Pat married her, trying to hold on to Pat. And, of course, she's driven him to do the one thing that she really believes will destroy her. He has indeed left her. God knows how she'll decide to act out that destruction.
Suicide?
Yeah. In one form or another. Or maybe not a window ledge or an overdose this time. Some way of fulfilling the prophecy.
What prophecy?
She must have told you that she'd die without Pat.
Yeah, and anyone else who'd listen. But, Al, you don't think that she'd really go out and try and kill herself, do you?
Well, I don't mean she's jumped in the river. Without an audience of Ryans, I doubt if she'd take that director route. But she's bound to be driven by this destructive impulse. You mentioned her becoming psychotic. It's a good possibility. It's a form of death, and it's an escape. It's a way to detach from reality. I don't know. I wish I could predict. The best I can do is some educated guesswork. I'll go over these files on her session. See if she made any hints about where she might go in these circumstances.
Thanks, Al.
Beyond that, I definitely suggest that you bring in the police.
Yeah.
I tell Pat I'd be glad to talk to him, if it'd help.
Well, I'd be surprised if Pat'll even talk to me. Once he finds out the subject is Delia.
Hi. What happened to your meeting?
Oh, it's okay. I won't be missed.
Oh, you certainly will. Frank.
Yeah?
Something wrong?
No. Did you and Edmund enjoy the park?
Oh, we had a terrific time, a whole hour there, and then Miriam met us. Now tell me what's wrong.
Mac thinks the annulment's going to be a problem. It's an odd case. No precedent. The Chancery doesn't say no, but it's not about to put a rush order in.
Well, just have to get married after the election.
June, I don't want to wait.
I know.
You don't either.
No, no, I don't. Hey, we're gonna be okay.
Will we?
Uh-huh.
I feel as though this validates everything you've said about my career coming between us.
But I don't feel that way, not anymore.
Well, then why don't we just go out of the state right now, find a justice of the peace? Then we could move in together, and if anybody noticed, we'd have a marriage license. Besides, who in hell is going to check on where I live?
The press. Divorced Catholic getting married in a civil ceremony, a secret one at that, while you're running for the Senate. Oh, bad, bad, bad politics, councilmen. Woo!
I know, you're right. I keep remembering the last time we decided to wait till after a campaign.
Yeah, but that was on a local level. Couldn't possibly happen on a national level.
Oh, Jill,
And anyway, I've waited a long time for you. I'm not afraid of waiting 5 months longer.
Don't you see? That sounds so awful. It's like I'm inviting trouble.
Don't. We can't change it, so we accept it. Temporarily. All right?
All right.
Can I get up now?
No.
No? No? Frank.
I know. Here, wait here a second. Don't move. The blind.
Oh, no. No. Absolutely not.
Put the phone on.
You will not.
Why not?
Look, why not?
Oh, you won't answer.
Why don't you, just come by, tonight, early, very early? Coming!
I love you.
Oh, I love you. Coming.
Listen, I can come back with this if you're busy.
No, no, no. Come on in.
I was just leaving. Look, I sort of know what you have in mind, so, can we discuss it over lunch?
Oh, possibly. Why don't you give me a call?
I'm afraid we've got a real malpractice suit in our hands here.
Ah, yeah, Cromley. Got something in the mail on it today. Have you gone over this?
Well, I've spoken to Cromley. He's a good man, but it's possible he made a mistake with this picture.
Yeah, well, he has a hell of an attorney. Good morning. It's Julian Coleridge. Is Mr. Wharton there? Oh, I see. Yeah, well, I would appreciate that. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. He's on the other line, but he's going to get right back to us.
You want me to stick around?
Yes, if you can. Not too familiar with this.
Yeah, sure. So, how are the wedding plans coming?
All right.
Have you set a date?
Yeah, after the election.
Listen, are you sure you have time for this now?
Seneca, that's why I'm here.
Fat kiss, right?
And watch
Pat, I know your wedding, but
movies. The touch of a button. The movie you want, when you want to watch it. To use Dish On Demand, just press the DVR button on your remote and choose Movies and More from the menu. Then select from a list of great Hollywood and more from your TV.
I didn't have a chance to talk to you at the wedding, but I know Faith did.
Well, I ended up doing most of my talking to Delia in the kitchen. I'm sorry we interfered.
No harm done.
Good.
And I'd like to keep it like that. Pat, I know you're going through a bad time. It's regrettable, but Faith isn't part of it.
I understand that.
So Faith says, but I'm not so sure.
Relax, Tom.
Don't reassure me. Just listen. Faith didn't report her conversation, but any fool could see that she was unhappy. A bit teary, in fact.
We had a private talk, and it cleared the air. There's no need for you and I to take it any further.
I disagree.
All right. What's the problem?
I've married her. You're still in love with her.
Some things you just live with.
Not me. I don't live with another man wanting my wife. And don't tell me you'll keep it under wraps, because this is her first day back from her honeymoon and you've already been in.
Maybe you should ask her for a report of our conversation.
I don't have to. You wanted to know if this was a marriage of convenience? To love, honor, and obey till my neck's saved. Then we go our separate ways.
Yeah, I needed to ask about that. But Faith gave me an answer.
And I'm giving you another. Faith is the most important woman in the world to me. I mean to be the only husband she'll ever have. Now, if she's less sure in this marriage than I am, it's because she's getting over her experience with you. But she's ready to put you in the past so that we can be happy together. Now, you're not to disturb that.
I don't intend to. Look, I know how much you love her.
I'm very fond of your family. Your parents and your sister have been incredibly good to me. I'd much prefer to have a pleasant relationship with you. Now, it won't be possible if you hang around Faith. You've had your chance. You missed. For everybody's sake, give up now.
I have. I can't give you more guarantee than that.
Well, how will you handle the working situation?
I'll work. If Faith is on the same case, we'll both work. You're not asking me not to speak to her.
No. Do what you have to without undermining our marriage.
I will keep my distance.
Fine.
I can't suddenly proclaim that I'm glad that things worked out this way, but...
But you can avoid the issue entirely, and I trust you will.
Right.
So, we understand each other then?
Yeah. Well, for what it's worth, you both have my best wishes.
Well, thank you. Same to you.
You need me?
Yeah, briefly.
Okay.
Pat, it's not about a patient. It's about Delia.
What about her?
She's in trouble.
I'm not your man.
Pat, she's dropped out of sight, and Al Pagano is as worried about her as I am.
She's fooled you both before. You ought to know better.
Pat, she left the apartment door open, the lights were on, the radio was blasting. She left her keys and money sitting on the table. Now, she didn't try to contact Bob or the Ryans. And I take it she hasn't come to you.
Because I won't buy it anymore.
Pat, who is she trying to fool? She didn't set up a rescue this time. She is gone, alone.
You underestimate her. I'm surprised.
Pat, Al says that she's been going downhill for months. Her lies were horrible, but they were crazy, too. Literally. And I'm afraid that Delia's hurt herself now more than anybody else.
Roger, what do you care?
I have my reasons. First of all, I'm ashamed of the amount of help that I gave her. Pat, I coached Delia with her fake nervous breakdown. And after talking to Al, I realized that I helped push her toward the real breaking point.
That's some background you might fill me in on. You knew that she was lying about those symptoms right from the start?
Yeah. I practically fed her those symptoms by giving her the medical books that she should read. And she came to me with the idea after she'd seen you and Faith together. At first, I tried to talk her out of it, and then I became intrigued. She affects me that way.
All that makes me feel is sorry for you.
That's strange, because I've been walking a very thin line between concern for her and concern for the people that she uses. After I saw what was happening with you at the strike, I felt sorry for you. I was turned off by Delia for the first time. In fact, when I found out about the miscarriage, I was about to tell you the minute I found out.
I wish you had. I would have ended the whole fiasco then.
It's ironic. I was afraid that she was going to have a breakdown, so I blackmailed her into psychotherapy with Al. But it's happening now anyway.
I think you're wrong. But, you know, even if I agreed with you, I wouldn't rush out of here to chase her down. No more rescues.
What about the police?
Ask Bob.
I will, but I'll talk to him again. Pat, when was the last time that you saw her?
Night of Faith's wedding.
Did she give you any idea of where she might go? Any hint of somebody that she might turn to?
No. She said that she'd kill herself if I left her, so I opened the window for her. But she wasn't interested in jumping.
Pat, Delia could really destroy herself. Now, I've got that on Al's authority.
I'm sorry. I can't respond to Delia anymore. I don't feel anything.
Kirsten Storms.
And I'm Bradford Anderson, inviting you to take a holiday from the holidays this Christmas night.
With 3 of the best holiday episodes of General Hospital. Thursday night starting at 8 on SoapNet.